Welcome to a new episode of Full Circle. I'm Nabhan Kareem, and with me I have Ehsan Ali and Rahul Ijaz. And we also have some new equipment today, so we're pretty excited to use it. So far, only Ehsan and I have it. Rahul, you'll have it next time.
Yeah, we should
Next
have
time.
play that
Yeah.
sound.
It's out of my reach, but I'll try.
Yeah,
I'll
and
try.
we have a...
चलो I'll be in charge.
No, you don't. You shouldn't get up. You'll disturb the camera.
आपका कुछ नहीं है.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah, so we
Man.
have the... So
Feels like
we got the new
horsing around.
We'll be
Rode
more-
podcaster.
We'll be a lot
And-
more distracted.
Yeah,
this
so we have
episode.
the new
We
Rode
apologize in
podcast.
advance.
Yeah, the
New
new
toy to
Rode
play with.
Rodecaster, which is a complete podcast machine, pretty awesome, and it's in the hands of Essen right now. And so you'll hear some few weird sound effects because he's messing around with it.
this one.
Yes, I found it. Yeah.
This one.
The green one.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
So we're pretty excited about this
Yep.
new system
Yes.
coming in, and hopefully all podcasts will now be recorded on this. Pretty exciting stuff.
Smooth sailing from now, hopefully, yeah.
So this, as it's
A producer can mess it up. now.
this was we
Yeah.
made this at IOPM. We made this room into a makeshift podcast studio, and
Yeah.
slowly we're bringing in stuff and making it into a proper
Yeah.
Right.
podcast studio, and hopefully as other shows also come on board and they come and we can start adding more stuff and,
Yeah.
and making it more interesting and interactive.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about Netflix and streaming platforms and how
Yeah.
they're changing our viewing habits and the industry itself, but of course we can't deny that while they are disrupting cinema, they're disrupting television.
Yeah.
Cinema is still alive and kicking, and there's certain
But is
movies.
it?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I should have that somewhere.
and there are movies that just recently came. This year's
Yeah.
been
Oh.
great for
Yeah.
cinema.
Yeah.
Some amazing
Commercially.
blockbusters and
not
great-
the best year for blockbuster cinema, I would say.
But
There are
for-
some amazing
yeah.
highlights,
Yeah.
but not every other blockbuster is like amazing.
Right.
No, but not in sense of in the sense of critical
yeah.
acclaim, but at least it's been a good year for cinema. Some good movies have come out, and some are coming out this year
Infinity
as well.
War.
So 2019 has
Infinity
been a
War
good
was
year.
last year.
Endgame.
Endgame. Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of movies are coming up which are getting people to go to the cinema.
Yeah.
We had Avengers Endgame,
Yeah.
which broke records.
Yeah.
All over the
John
world.
Wick.
Even
And
in
yeah.
Pakistan, like
Yeah.
Capri Cinema,
A lot of
you saw that video where people
Yeah.
were trying to,
only 46 million away from beating Avatar. By
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only 46.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
But
But it didn't come. It didn't beat it.
yeah,
So,
but
obviously.
yeah, my favorite summer movie so far. I think I won't count Endgame as a summer movie. It was
Yeah.
like right at the edge. I would say John Wick Chapter
Oh.
3.
Hell
John
Oh,
Wick,
I-
brilliant.
Hell yes.
Like it's insane how they topped 1 and 2
Mm-hmm.
in this one, because like I really liked 1. I watched 2 like multiple times in the theater, but Chapter 3, the first 20 minutes
Killed
alone
it.
are like,
Absolutely.
holy shit.
And the brilliant thing about it is the movie starts off with an action scene, and it does not
Stop for
that
like,
action
yeah.
does not end until the credits roll.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it is just amazing in each act. I mean, you watch certain action movies and you
Yeah.
kind of get tired of the fight sequences
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because they become so repetitive.
Absolutely.
This
one
had
doesn't.
Yeah.
such unique action sequences, and each sequence was so different
Yeah.
with its own challenges and its own.
Every fight had a unique element
yeah.
attached to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Then
And not
that's
just
what I
that,
love
but
about
how they
this.
balance the story,
Yeah.
the substance part with the sequences, because mostly in action movies you
Yeah.
have like very thin plots which
And,
just
like,
don't even
it's
matter most of the time. But
what
this one
I-
actually,
Yeah, what I like about John Wick series is like they know what this
Yeah.
movie is. So even the plot is thin, but it's okay. Because like
but it's
we
not
have
as
like
thin as
85%
any
of
other
action.
any other random
Yeah.
action movie. It actually has
Wh-
stakes.
Yeah, and whatever plot it has, it's actually interesting.
And I
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
like within its fictional world
Yeah.
and unrealistic elements, there was some sort of realism in it where
Yeah.
especially with the gun reloading, because
Oh, yes.
it always
Yes.
bothers me in movies where they'll have a
The-
pistol
When
which
he
holds like
Go on,
6
you can
bullets and they
kill,
keep
like,
on shooting for like
50
when,
people.
50
whenever he
people.
reloads with ejecting the magazine like this,
Right.
like with his twist,
The gun fool
I'm like,
thing.
oh
Yeah,
yes, let's
absolutely.
do more of that, please. And
Yeah.
then the reloading of the shotgun in the end, I saw like a bunch of videos. There's like a special move by like you load like 4 shells at once.
Ooh,
So
okay.
you pick 4 shells out of your like pouch, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you like load it at once. So it's like a special move which like the director was talking about in one of the interviews. I was like,
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
the action
They've done-
sequences
Right.
were very
Yeah.
realistic in that sense. So we
So
had
the-
multiple action sequences.
Yeah.
We had the first one with the and the knives and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the horse
Oh, that's
and then,
my favorite.
and then with the dogs in
The knife.
Morocco
Can we-
and then
we
so
need-
which ones
Yeah.
I want to ask you which one was
The
your
knife,
favorite
the
action
knife,
sequence?
the
The
knife
knife one,
scene,
absolutely.
even though it started off with an amazing scene with the library
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
book, and which was, I think, one of the most brutal execution that he did.
Yeah, kill him
But the
with
knife
book.
scene was just like, stop! Please stop! You have thrown at least 5 knives in that guy already. You can stop. No, I will pick an axe 5 feet away from me. I will throw it 20 feet away from me to a guy who's trying to.
And in this code directly.
Oh
And
my
what
God.
was your favorite
Such
action?
Yeah, man, this was I was
The
doing.
knives?
I was like, yeah, this is the best scene I've
And
watched in probably.
it's-
I don't know how
Yeah.
long.
What
Yeah.
would you? what was
I
your-
liked the horse sequence
Oh yeah.
because
the
it was
kick.
actually like very
Oh, yes.
it was very scary to
Yeah.
watch,
Oh, yeah.
and also the some of the shots were so brilliantly done.
Right.
The bike scene.
the bike scene on the bridge.
The ninjas.
Oh man,
Yes.
and yeah, that was having the ninjas on the bikes because it brings that traditional warrior
Yeah,
element
and
with
kinda,
modern
you know,
techniques,
modernize
and
it in a
it
way,
was
yeah.
it was so
I like
well
the
done.
the glass walls and everything. The end.
The end. Like
Yeah,
I want to
actually.
talk about
That was really
like
cool.
a little bit of the structure of the film a little bit, like, because I feel like the first 20 minutes alone are so good that even if the last half of the movie is not as amazing as the first half, it's still one of the best action movies I have ever seen.
Absolutely.
Like, and
Yeah.
the fact
The
that
whole
it's the
franchise
No doubt.
third,
even, yeah.
the fact that it's the third movie in the franchise is the most highest grossing movie of the franchise, and they've already announced chapter 4.
Yes.
It is insane.
2021.
It is insane. Like, even the third part is so good, and what I love about John Wick 3 is this is like the first step of Keanu Reeves for this year, and after that, like he came out with.
So
yeah.
we'll talk about Keanu Reeves and,
Yes,
and what he's
we
going to do in
will.
the next couple of years in a bit.
Yes.
But let's stay on John Wick for
Okay,
for a
okay.
couple of minutes.
Sure.
So you were going to talk about the
Keanu Sans, what people are trying to
Yeah.
coin the word for it. Yeah, I was leading into that actually. Like John Wick 3 is the movie that dethroned Avengers. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yes.
And after when Avengers came out, when you
Yeah.
saw the numbers, you're
Yeah.
like, no movie's going to do that
Yeah.
for a few
For like
you
a
know,
month or two.
No, for
No.
for like
Yeah.
maybe a year. You know,
3
you're
yeah.
no
But it
movie can
actually
do
did
that.
it
And then
instantly
John Wick
afterwards,
comes out like maybe what.
immediately.
3 weeks, I think.
3
It
weeks
took 3
after,
weeks.
like
Yeah.
less than a month,
Yeah.
and it just like
Yeah, I think
Kicked
it,
its ass.
Kick-
So like
it
boom.
might be still in top 10, but I could be wrong because there's so many other movies, like commercial movies that have
Yeah.
been
Well, the good
out.
part is like they have made it grander and grander with each
Oh,
offering.
man, like
but
the scene with Halle Berry in Morocco.
Yes.
Like,
oh the
absolutely.
and the
The
dogs.
Yeah.
Oh man.
oh man, that was insane.
Such good doggies.
Dog was really bulletproof.
Oh,
Thing,
I
like
love
that was
Yeah.
amazing. I was like,
And-
that is a dog I would
And he
want.
says,
Yes.
I understand. I'm like, yes, we all understand.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
No, but
Oh,
also
man.
the fight sequences with the dogs when they're
Oh,
that
yes.
was
You know,
was
Yeah.
amazing.
like
Using
spoilers,
them
by
as-
the way, we should have said that before. But like, remember in the end of that fight, the dog fight, like the dog jumps like quite a
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
That's real.
I know.
There's no CG in that.
Yeah,
Yep.
most of the action sequences were real.
They put a
Um,
trampoline or something.
90%
Yeah,
of the
90%
action
was
sequences
real.
were real.
Even with the
Yeah.
horse and all of that. I mean, they
Even with the
they
horse
were
and
like
all.
practical effects. I mean, they
Right,
were attached to harnesses and
Yeah.
so obviously.
Of course.
Yeah.
But and
Like,
Keanu,
they were real people. Like Keanu did 90% of
Performing
his own like
actual
stunts and
stunts,
action
yeah.
sequences.
so I was seeing an interview of Keanu
Yeah.
and he said that he did all the fight sequences
Yeah, fight
because he's
sequences.
a
Right.
trained trained in martial arts and
jiu-jitsu
yeah.
stuff.
And he particularly
Um,
trained for this too, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like the gun fu and the all,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
how the
Yeah.
whole thing that
And
happens.
it's just the difficult stuff where he has to fall off stuff and go through like glass walls
yes.
and all of that.
The glass sequence
There
in
you
the
had
end,
a
Oh, yes.
stuntman.
he did that himself twice. He was kicked into those glass
Yeah. Son
of a
walls
God.
himself.
Alright.
No, but the
Twice.
ones where he has to fall
Oh,
down, that
no,
was a
yeah,
stuntman.
that,
because,
of
yeah.
course. Like, yeah, come on. Like,
But yeah,
Keanu, like,
but for
we
most
need
of
him.
most
We
of
need
it,
him.
Right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We need him, and by God, we got so much of Keanu in the past few weeks,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like that's such an amazing. Like I haven't seen an actor or an actress go from not 0 but like 90 to 2000 in like
I mean,
in like
in like
No, but,
span of
4
4
weeks.
but
Yeah.
Keanu was kind of, I mean, he was in the brink of like
So
being
like,
forgotten. I mean, for a really
but
long
like
time.
since John Wick 1, he's kind of like coming back.
Yeah, but
he's still
between
doing,
that,
like,
he hasn't done
Hmm.
much, and I mean, I think John Wick
Yeah.
can be his, Robert Downey's Iron Man.
I think
Brings
it
his
is.
career
That's
back,
true,
and
that's true, yeah.
Because like I'm a big Keanu fan. I'm a big Winona Ryder's fan as well.
Yeah.
So they did a rom-com Destination Wedding.
Yeah.
Last November, I think it came out. It's not
Winona
bad.
Ryder?
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's not a bad movie, but it's a good movie if
Mm.
you like both of them. But John. So he got John Wick. He like it's still at 89% with like 200-300 reviews. That is insane. 200-300 reviewers at Rotten Tomatoes, by the way. And after John Wick 3, he got Always Be My Maybe on Netflix. He did a cameo with Ali Wong and Randall
Right.
Park. Good movie, but his scenes were absolutely insane because he was playing himself, but a hipster version of himself, which is even more insane. They had an action sequence that they had like references of his old movies and stuff like that. It was really good. Did you watch that movie? By the way?
I haven't seen it
Not
yet.
yet.
Like,
Not yet.
Netflix is so like clever. Like they put out that scene all on its own. Like one of the
Oh,
scenes,
okay.
not the second scene,
Mhm.
because the second scene happened right after that, and that is even more insane.
Yeah.
So like I really
I'll
love.
check it out.
I love that people are starting to recognize Keanu as a brand now,
Yeah.
and I'll
Hmm.
give you the third reason why. So right after all of this, no one knew about it. Apparently, Keanu Reeves is in Toy Story 4 as well.
Yes,
Which
yeah.
is opening this Friday.
Yes.
And his name is Duke Kaboom.
Yeah.
He's a stuntman
stuntman.
who drives a motorbike from Canada. And like it's apparently hilarious whatever the reviews are coming out. And the best part is even Pixar, who has no issue of budgets and anything, they are cannibalizing or capitalizing, on Keanu
Cannibalizing
Sans.
Keanu.
And like seriously, they're putting out the new TV spots or like the Twitter banners and posters with just Keanu.
Keanu, I think after Matrix, he, I think he was struggling trying to
Yeah.
find his right,
Yeah. Like most-
character. I think he didn't want to be typecast and
Yeah.
all of that, but
Too late.
and then but then I think that's what he's good at. I think that's what he.
John Wick kind of proves that.
and John Wick
you know?
proves
Right.
that, and I think there's nothing wrong with it. If you can find roles that that you fit in, and
He's what 50 plus, and like you're not
Probably.
gonna get like
Yeah.
rom-com roles
Yeah.
at like
And-
51.
and I mean, he is a great actor, but can he's kind of like built his image around that type
Yeah.
of character,
Right,
and it's
yeah.
fine. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with. I mean, he's also the interview I saw.
Yeah.
They're bringing back
Yeah,
Ted and Bill's
Bill and Ted's
Bill and Ted's
Save the World. I think that's the
yeah.
title they're
So
getting.
so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. They're
now.
shooting right now. They just started shooting.
Like
Yeah.
you compared him with Robert Downey Jr. and like that guy is comfortable with the kind of roles he does. Like he is Iron Man. He
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Sherlock too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. And now I think like Keanu is also kind of
But now
being
after
comfortable with being
Exactly.
you know his
Himself,
identity.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what his point
And I
is.
think after so
like-
long,
yeah.
him bringing Bill and Ted back
Yeah.
might be an interesting thing. Let's see what happens. I mean, let's see if people will also accept that, because when
The world
Jim
needs
Carrey,
as many
and
Keanu
also when
movies
Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels
Yeah.
brought Dumb and Dumber back,
Yeah.
people were disappointed, and not because Dumb and Dumber came back, but
Yeah.
especially because we're not used to seeing Jeff Daniels like that anymore.
Yeah.
Because before the previous Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
he's grown so much.
Like Newsroom, like
Exactly, and he's
Looming
become such a
Tower.
senior actor
Oh my
between
God.
that when I saw him in Dumb and Dumber 2,
Yeah.
I was like, no,
You
you
shouldn't
know.
do that.
I don't think that was the problem. I think the movie just was so
But yeah,
bad.
movies were bad, but even now that I go back and
Yeah.
and look at number one,
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels doesn't
Achha, it
fit into
doesn't,
that.
like,
He doesn't. Jim Carrey has always been
I just-
perfect for that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I just saw one of I follow a lot of Twitter accounts of like movies and stuff. So it was of Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber, and it's a shot of his butt crack. He's looking out in the window. Like I'm just like Jeff
No,
Daniels.
he's brilliant in that.
That's
It's just
amazing.
after
man.
Newsroom and after seeing him in so many serious
Yeah.
movies, I don't picture him in that
But
situation anymore.
I respect the fact that he can still pull it
Oh,
off.
he
Like,
can,
he's-
definitely.
like that's the range of an actor
Mm.
that like.
So let's see what Keanu does with Bill and Ted.
And
Yeah, and
who else?
yeah, what else?
is he up
and
to?
and like that's the thing, like to end it all, Keanu, like, so I'm a big gamer, by the way, so a shout out to E3 2019, and there's a big game that's coming out next year now that we know of, Cyberpunk 2077. It's a futuristic dystopian choose your own character RPG based action game, and it was the best announced game of the last year's E3. It was the most hyped game and everything, and they had no need to do anything in terms of making it more amazing, more awesome. And you know what they did? Keanu Reeves. Yes.
He's
They
a
put-
character in it.
He is your guide in that game. So he's
Oh,
always
okay.
going to be talking to you,
Nice.
leading you, abhi badi yahan jana hai, abhi yahan jana hai, वगैरह. And the way they introduced it was in the Microsoft Theater in LA, on the Microsoft's E3 stage. They had the Cyberpunk trailer, and then when he shows up in the trailer, it cuts to the stage, and Keanu is revealed on stage, and he comes out and he gives such an amazing small talk about the game, and like people were losing their minds. And I'm pretty sure everyone has seen those memes. You're breathtaking, and you're
Yes.
breathtaking. Like it's insane. And like what I love about all of this is like I heard one of the journalists talking about all of these events is that for so long, video games were trying to get into Hollywood by making like Tomb Raider and like World of Warcraft and other kind of games. Like even Ready Player One was to some extent was a video game movie, but I think what Keanu has proven now, I think that games kind of don't need Hollywood. The Hollywood needs video games because all the big names are kind of coming into games now.
And-
All the Hollywood big names like Keanu Reeves are now coming into
Into video games.
video games now, and I think that's
And a lot of video games are also using
Yeah.
the same
Marketing a bit,
technology.
yep.
Right.
Also same technology
Performance
to build
capture, yeah, you're right.
performance capturing and also to the fact that
Yeah.
I was reading somewhere that
Yeah.
they've started to hire like filmmakers or
Yeah. Oh,
film
right,
writers and all of
yes,
that
yes.
to develop stories
Completely agree,
and
yeah.
visuals
True
for
that.
the film
Like,
for the games.
Yeah, like just a small example. God of War came last year,
Yeah.
and that whole game, there was a cinematographer on set for the whole production because
Mhm.
the director wanted the whole game to be in one cut. So there were like no cuts in the entire game. It's like a 40-hour epic with your monstering like behemoths and like gods
Mhm.
and shit like that, and there were no cuts
So
Yeah,
in
so
that whole game.
even
Right.
I played God of
Would
War.
you
I'm
say,
playing
the art form
yeah.
of video games
Yeah.
and cinema, they're
Yeah.
actually
So-
merging into,
Yeah, so
into
I
like all of
I mean
that.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I've been playing. So for a long time I
Yeah.
stopped playing video games.
Yeah.
After maybe high school,
Yeah.
I kind of stopped. I kind of got bored with it.
Yeah.
Because I prefer more like story based games. And then when GTA 5 came out, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I need to get back to it.
Trevor, my boy.
So I played that, and then after finished that, I got bored of video games again, and then I didn't play until last year. I bought a
Okay.
PS4
Okay.
because I was like, I need to
Caught up, get caught up, yeah.
catch up with it, and then I eventually I bought God of War,
Of course.
bought a few other games.
Of course.
Now Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption,
Oh.
Spider-Man 2, and all of that, and
Red Dead. My God. such a
and
good game.
and
God,
it
you
sometimes
gamers.
feels like most of the time I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
it is a
It's
movie.
a more
yeah.
immersive experience.
The
for
lines
me,
is.
are
yeah.
blurring.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Especially
That's
with
what really
Bandersnatch
defines-
coming out, in
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you have the same thing
So,
coming to
so
Netflix
these games
now.
like God of War,
Ugh.
because the action doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It feels like you are playing or you're
Interactive
doing. It's an
story.
interactive
Right.
story.
Yeah.
It's no longer I mean, I think with, like you said, Netflix doing Bandersnatch
Yeah.
and all of that. It's no longer.
It's not a gimmick
It's
anymore.
it's not
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah.
movie or a game. It's
Yeah.
it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know,
True
it's a
that,
story.
true that.
It's a story. It's
Do you
a
think
choose
that
your
is
own.
the future of
It's a choose your own adventure
storytelling?
story. Yeah.
I think like I'll kind of reiterate the point that I don't think storytelling has just been introduced in games. I think
No, of course not.
No, it's
But that
always
is-
been there, but I think
that is
because of the
Yes.
cinematic
becoming
value
more-
coming in.
yeah.
So even the cinematic aspect of the visual language of movies have been in games since, like, I would say 20 years, because Metal Gear Solid 1 is one of the best games of all time, and they had
No,
like
absolutely, yeah.
camera cut scenes and everything. So like cinematic language has been
Yeah.
in part of games, but it wasn't incorporated as insane as like something like Last of Us and God of War
Exactly,
and like,
yeah.
Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption and stuff, like games like that. So like I absolutely love the fact that how Hollywood is kind of struggling to get it, like how to make more money, and like the actors need to get paid, because TV is kind of rising now.
Of course.
So movies kind of getting a backseat. So what do people do? They're gonna go to video games, because like Kit Harington did a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman is, I think, in the new Call of Duty game that's coming out in 2019. Keanu Reeves is
Cyberpunk.
in Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm forgetting a lot of other.
And also, there was another game that came out,
actors.
Detroit.
Become Human. Yeah, there were a bunch
there
of
was
actors.
a bunch of actors in there.
Not many high-level actors.
Yeah.
There was Ellen Page and William Dafoe was in one of the old games of that company, Quantic Dream.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond Two Souls.
Mm.
So like we had some pretty big caliber names, but like
Yeah.
Keanu bringing all his hype for the past 4 weeks and just
Especially riding on the momentum
thermonuclear
of
bombing
John
the
Wick and all,
whole
yes.
whole Twitter and the whole
Yeah.
high cycle. That is insane for the guy to just capture this lightning in a bottle and just being so amazing about it. Like, he's not like very egoistic about it. He said in one of the interviews that Hollywood doesn't, video games don't need Hollywood to be validated. So like, that's such an amazing thing to hear from someone who's from that.
Right.
Like, he knows the power of video games and the importance of video games. By the way, still the most biggest entertainment industry in the world. By the way,
Of course, yeah.
Just letting you
Yeah.
know. Just letting you know. But like, yeah, coming back to Keanu in the sense, like John Wick 3 just launching his 2019 career, I would say, Keanu Sans. Like, I just want to bring back to it. And what were your like favorite like moments from that movie? Like
From that movie?
Yeah, apart from the knife scene, basically.
Well, apart from the nice thing,
Yeah.
the glass walls and all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
For
that one was obviously awesome. But I
Yeah.
also like the fact that those little moments when he's going to the doctor, nobody's trying to help him.
That's such
Nobody's
a
trying
good
to
Yeah.
help him. But you see
Yeah.
that, he will obviously
Yeah.
find a way.
Yeah.
And how the doctor
I-
asks him to shoot.
Yeah.
I mean,
himself.
I guess I can't pick one scene, but I just loved the colors. Oh, man.
Cinematography
Absolutely.
of
The
that
colors in that movie was
How can you make New York even
amazing.
prettier? Rain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rain.
Exactly.
Rain everywhere.
Exactly. No, and just the blues and
The purple
the
and
purple
the
and
neon and the reflections.
Oh, so good.
It's, everything is all layered. Like you're actually there with them.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, for me, I would say like what I love about John Wick the most is the tactical approach to gunsmith and like just shooting as well. And like for me, like one of the moments I completely lost it was in the end when he is trying to shoot the enemies in the hotel, and like they're not getting killed because they were wearing body
Yeah.
armor. I'm like,
Yes.
yes, how do you kill people who have body armor?
Exactly.
You know what? Get a 12 gauge shotgun with slugs. I'm like, yes. And the first guy he kills, his head blows off. I'm like, yes. That's what's gonna happen when
exactly.
you point blank
That's
a
how you
12
like
gauge
embrace
shotgun.
it.
Oh my god! For me, what an amazing way to kick off the summer season.
He was like the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Can't
Sorry, a
Yeah.
wrestling reference, but yeah, arrive, raise hell,
Yeah.
and leave. That's all you do.
Can't wait to watch it in like glorious 4K HDR on like when
Oh,
it comes to
absolutely.
So are you
Blu-ray and like streaming.
Yeah. So do you think we can see a John Wick maybe TV show or something
It
on
is
Netflix?
coming. It is
Uh,
coming. The Continental. It's coming on.
Wait.
Yeah.
Really?
There is a show called Continental about the hotels.
Oh, so
already
far.
in production. Keanu might appear as like a cameo.
But it's like a
role.
spin-off
Yeah,
series.
but it's gonna be a
Um,
totally different. Within the same world, is gonna be following a story of a particular hotel
Mhm.
Right.
or Continental, and
So
it's gonna,
where is it coming out on? Anyone know? Do
I'm
we
not
know
sure.
yet?
It's gonna be a Netflix series, not Netflix series, a Netflix show. I don't know exactly which one. I think it might be Fox. So I
Yes.
could be wrong.
I mean,
I could be wrong.
It should be fun. Fox is investing a lot of
probably
Yeah,
it
shit,
might,
yeah.
even if it's on Fox, it might just come up on Netflix.
Yeah, I
Netflix
hope so.
in a few years.
In a
I
few
hope
years
so.
when
Yeah.
they cancel it and then
I'm-
Netflix goes
Right.
like, let us come and
Yeah,
save
we're
it.
just
Like how
gonna-
they did with Lucifer.
Yeah.
Lucifer,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely, yeah. That's what. Yeah, you want to talk about Lucifer?
Sure,
of
go,
course.
Let's do that. What do you guys actually think of the show before I say anything?
I don't think Essen
haven't
hasn't seen it
seen
yet.
it
Oh, you
yet.
haven't
just-
seen it.
I'm a
You-
big fan.
you love it.
I
I'm
love
sure
it.
you
I
love
love it.
it.
It's a great. I think it's kind of like a nice guilty pleasure to
Oh,
watch.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because,
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's not.
it
I
kinda
mean,
is
it's like
actually, yeah.
the story is. It's like it's
Yeah.
not. It's like not the a brilliant
It's a
show.
good-
in that
But it's
sense.
so good that you
It's-
actually I
but it's an
binge watched
entertaining
the
show.
whole 10
It's a
episodes
good
in 2
time
days.
pass show.
Yeah,
It is a good time pass show.
Absolutely.
When you have nothing else to watch, this
Yeah.
is a good show to watch. It's interesting, it's fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's mainly because of the
Character, Tom Ellis,
Tom
yeah.
El- and the actor Tom Ellis.
Yeah.
He does a brilliant job
He's
in
brilliant.
bringing that
This is
character
a
to
one-man
life.
show essentially, although he
Yeah.
has some really solid supporting cast.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
this is the guy you watch the show for.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I particularly like about the show is
Yeah.
not the fact that it's a typical police procedural drama, but you add the cosmic, the biblical layer to it. You have the freaking devil coming to solve issues.
And and it becomes such a because of those complexities,
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
show becomes so
Layered.
interesting.
It is layered because you're exploring the devil as a character, not as
Because-
not as just the bad guy who we all
Yeah.
think he is or he
And-
might be. But
and it's not. I mean, it's a typical cop show.
it is essentially
But it's not. But
It is
because
not,
of that
yeah.
that
Okay.
complexity of him
Yeah.
being the devil,
Yeah.
right.
actual devil,
But it's,
Yeah.
like
It
they're
blurs the
using
line
the
between
with
good
other
and bad.
with other
Yeah.
celestial beings coming
Right.
in,
Yes.
it makes it complicated. Yeah. So I mean, Lucifer, I mean, because of his complex character
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all of that, it just makes the show so much
no,
more
it's
interesting.
more than that because you're not just challenging the stereotype of the image of the devil or Lucifer or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you're also, exploring him as a character. He is not
Mhm.
always the bad guy.
Mm.
He
Yeah.
is not always the, the devil who's actually kind of luring you into something.
Has he
that I like
saving
it.
a kitty in the show?
Well, he has saved a lot of people actually,
Okay.
and he has. But there's a gray zone to
He's
it.
a good
He's
guy
not
in this,
always.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's,
And that is
why,
what I like
why
because
is he
it's
a good guy in this?
because you're well for that you'll have to watch
Like,
the
just
show
give
because
me
there's,
like an elevator pitch or something.
because he rebelled against someone and he believed he was right and he stood up for what he believed.
So is it kind of
Yeah.
does it share the similar themes as Good Omen?
somewhat, it does remind me of that, but
Yeah.
I prefer Lucifer over Good Omen.
Why?
Just because the characters are stronger and
Yeah.
the story is more, it's more
Engaging,
interesting,
okay.
engaging, and all that. And also,
they have done some good stuff.
Good
Sorry.
Omen.
Okay.
Good Omen
Yeah.
is. I think that's a different show altogether
More
because the
casual.
entire series, the season has
Yeah.
one objective.
Okay.
This has like every episode has a different crime that they
Yeah.
solve within
But that's
overall,
just a disguise
arch.
to explore different parts of the character.
Yeah,
Okay.
Which is a good
there's
thing.
an
And-
overall arch to it, but
Yeah.
So
but I would recommend
yeah.
you to watch it.
It's in my queue because of you guys.
Right.
I went the extra effort to mark it for my playlist.
Mm.
But like I'm still not convinced for this show because I'm not invested for the past 4 years like you guys probably have been, and because it was cancelled, I think
there are more
importance of the show has
sentiments
grown
to
for
it.
you.
Yes,
But I
So
would
it's
like
like,
to I
okay.
would like to say, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So this was on I
I think
believe
FX or
no
something.
Fox, or was it
Fox
on
or FX?
I don't know.
FX
I don't
was,
it was on a network
Yeah. Okay.
and it got cancelled.
Yeah.
And it got cancelled because they didn't have enough views.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is when
Within 24 hours.
within 24 there were millions of tweets
Nice.
and petitions signed. They were I mean, to the point where people were like, wait, this many people were watching
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were watching it because, except for in the US,
Yeah.
it was available on Netflix for
Right.
everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the entire world was watching it. So
Yeah.
there was an international petition.
Yeah.
that encouraged Netflix to sweep in,
pick it up.
pick it up,
Yeah.
and then make 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Two
So,
seasons,
so
actually.
they made season 4,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then season 5 is going to be the last one.
Awesome.
There was a really
Um,
good point when this season ended. Like the point where it ended, you see. Okay, spoilers.
Yeah, that's
cool.
fine.
Yeah, well, Lucifer is going back to
No one
Yeah.
cares.
hell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now you have this next last season where you can see
Yeah.
probably what he does, because there are so
In
many
hell?
things.
Are we
Let's
Maybe
see,
in
let's
hell
see.
or maybe
he might
maybe
just
in,
come
you know,
back,
he just
or
come
you know,
back.
we'll see.
Because you have his what do you call it, love life in on
Okay.
earth. You have the mother in hell. You have Eve. You have like so
Is-
many
is there
characters.
a
I fell in love with Eve, man. I'm
Is
all
there
about
a love
Eve.
triangle in Lucifer?
Oh,
There was,
so
yeah,
many,
there's
yes,
so
yes,
many,
yes,
there's
so many,
multiple.
so many of them.
No, like I said, it is a cheesy
Oh,
show.
man.
It is a cheesy show, but it's good entertainment.
Okay.
So I would suggest
It's like
you
really good.
I'll
entertainment, not just
I'll give
yeah.
it a shot. I will give it.
give it a shot.
Yeah.
Watch it
Yeah.
for a bit.
Because like
Maybe-
I find the premise interesting. Like
Yeah.
I like the devil living amongst us and stuff like that. But just that network feel, like the storytelling aspect, I'm just like it could have been much more edgier.
No, it
and
could
much
have been
more, like,
absolutely,
insane.
absolutely. But I
So-
think they're trying to keep it, a bit
also,
more.
I mean,
have
they
more mass
couldn't
appeal and
go
all.
too much. I mean, it's based on a graphic novel, so
Okay.
Yeah.
they have to follow.
I think Neil
mean,
Gaiman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they have
he
to follow a lot of what
Ah.
the novel, the comics
Okay.
do. So I mean, that's that element as well.
Okay. I'll
Uh,
definitely check it out.
Yeah,
Like.
but
And, like the fact that the last season is coming next year.
If nothing
I don't
else,
have to
you'll
wait.
probably
Yeah.
end up siding with the devil.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
against
For sure.
but
the
I mean,
other.
I mean, interesting
characters.
movies coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, we just talked about. It's been a short conversation where
Yeah.
we've talked about Keanu and Lucifer just a
Yes.
bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a good year for movies. So we're
Oh,
going to have some
yes.
interesting conversations,
Yep.
some great stuff coming
absolutely.
out very
Yeah.
soon,
Yep.
and then let's see what comes our way and what entertains us
Toy
even more.
Story 4
Toy
next
Story
week,
4.
baby.
Oh,
Let's
same
go,
old.
Duke Kaboom.
Yeah. So you're excited for Toy Story 4.
Course.
You're excited
Well,
for.
I'm excited. No, not exactly. I'm not a Toy Story person.
Boo.
I know, boo.
Yeah.
Play that sound.
I don't know which button it is yet.
Here we go.
Oh, he
yes,
remembers,
I
he
remember
remembers.
my button. This is always this my.
That we
Rahul
should call this the
button.
Rahul button.
Say.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I'm waiting for Money Heist Part 3.
Okay.
That's
No,
yeah.
movies? Any movies?
Movies, not particularly. I would say. Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh,
of course.
yes.
yes, how
Oh,
could we-
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So same here.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in
Awesome.
Hollywood,
Awesome.
and then thank you
And
guys
maybe
for
Rocketman. Maybe.
Yeah.
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 I
Hopefully.
mean,
Let's
so
see.
thank you guys for
If it's
joining in,
released.
and
Yeah.
we'll speak to you next time.
Woo.
Ciao,
All
ciao.
right, bye bye.